We begin with a push for pensions. Several bills that would help police officers, teachers, and other public workers are still stuck in legal limbo. They are the bills that the widow of the fallen Michigan State Police motor carrier officer has been championing for months. And today is the deadline to get those passed bills to Governor Whitmer's desk. Thank you so much for staying with us. I'm Mike Duffy.
And I'm Whitney Burney. 7 investigator Heather Catallo joins us now with the latest on the battle over these bills. Hey, Heather.
Still no resolution on this, unfortunately. The Constitution requires the governor to have 14 days to review legislation that has passed both chambers of the legislature. And today would be that day for these 9 bills that never got sent to her desk at the end of last year's session. While that fight plays out in the courts, the families who would benefit from these law changes say they are frustrated.
Everyone says good things after someone dies, right? But Danny really was the best.
After Michigan State Police motor carrier officer Daniel Kerstetter was killed after a traffic stop last September, his widow Katie has made it her mission to fight for his co-workers.
If I can help his colleagues and all police officers get treated the way they should be treated and compensated the way they should be compensated, then, it's not all for nothing.
Katie Kerstetter has spent hours lobbying Lansing leaders to send several bills that were passed by both the House and the Senate in the final hours of 2024 to Governor Gretchen Whitmer's desk so they can be signed into law. One of the bills that passed would allow MSP motor carrier officers, State Department of Corrections officers, conservation officers, and others the option of buying into the state troopers pension program, a benefit Katie calls essential for the many law enforcement officers who don't make enough to contribute to their 401ks. The bills would also improve health care costs for public employees, including teachers. But when the new legislature took over in January, House Speaker Matt Hall held 9 of the enrolled bills back, putting them under legal review.
This is case number 25-14.
So the Senate sued the House over the stalled bills. In late February, a court of claims judge issued a judgment saying the Constitution requires that all bills passed by the legislature must be presented to the governor. But the judge stopped short of forcing the House to present the bills, saying the courts should not interfere with exactly how the bills get presented. Last week, the House passed a resolution stating only bills voted on by the current legislature can be sent to Whitmer.
We can only present bills that were passed by both chambers in the 103rd legislature. That's all we can do. And what a mess from the Democrats. I mean, you look at this, they didn't present bills.
On Monday, Senate Majority Leader Winnie Brink sent a letter demanding that the House comply with the judge's order or hand the bills over to the Senate.
The concerns about the Constitution are incredibly important, and I certainly hope that people recognize that this is not a political argument. This is really an argument about the integrity of the folks that you elect to represent you.
Can the Senate just send them to the governor?
That was a suggestion of the judge to ensure that we have the ability to do that. We did change our rules. We are trying to use every single tool available to us to indicate the importance and our willingness to make sure that these bills that were passed by both chambers go through the constitutionally prescribed process and get presented to the governor for her consideration.
Both the House and the Senate have filed appeals in the courts. We will see how this battle plays out in the coming days and weeks and whether it will head to the Michigan Supreme Court. Meanwhile, the people around the state who fought really hard to make these changes for law enforcement and other public employees say they're devastated and frustrated that this is happening. The Senate saying today that previous House speakers have sent bills that were passed by previous legislatures before. They say they're not asking for anything out of the ordinary. The Republicans in the House obviously disagree.
And all these people who obviously would benefit end up as collateral
Yeah.
in the back and forth. All right,
See what
Heather.
happens.
Thank you.
Heather, thank you.